Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chicago Fire's latest death could not have been more of a letdown. Here's why. Too Close was a very dramatic episode. There were lots of exciting developments and plot points that will seemingly be fleshed out into bigger storylines in the future. The main focus of the episode, the thing NBC hinged their promo on, was the surprise death of a character. Here's the thing, it wasn't very surprising. The promo focused on the emotional reaction of Chief Dom Pascal, Dermot Mulroney, when he discovered who died, and that narrowed the focus to basically one character, his wife, Monica Katie Strickland. She was the most obvious candidate, and it turned out to be her. Chicago Fire executed the death scene well, and Mulroney and company gave startling performances during the final few minutes of the episode. The problem lies in the way the death was telegraphed. It was always going to be Monica Pascal, and the show never tried to fake us out or throw us off the trail by teasing someone else's death. The show is generally good when it comes to bait and switches. In season 13 alone, Chicago Fire was able to trick us by teasing the return of a foe for Violet McCamey, Hanako Greensmith. All signs pointed to it being Emma Jacobs, Caitlin Carver. In the end, though, the returning foe turned out to be Lennox, Wesam Keach. We were surprised and pleasantly so. It didn't help that the writing was on the wall from the moment Monica Pascal was introduced. The character was set up as a foil for the chief, but every scene she appeared effectively ended in there being an argument. Estrange was putting it mildly, because Monica existed outside of 51, though the show was never going to have enough time to flesh her character out. She was, and always was going to be, an accessory to Chief Pascal. The promo for the March 26 episode all but confirms this. Chief Pascal flies off the handle, and his grief begins to take a toll on his work performance. He accosts the man responsible for accident that killed Monica, and he begins slipping, in some instances literally, during emergency calls. Chief Pascal is set to have a fascinating arc over the next couple of episodes, and the severity of his behavior in the promo leads us to question whether the character will hold on to his position for long enough to see season 14. Will be forced to hand the reins off to Herman, David Eigenberg. We've no clue. We do know, however, that Chicago Fire is going to have to be more subtle when it comes to teasing major deaths. In the storied history of Chicago Fire, the series has never shied away from delivering gut-wrenching moments that leave viewers reeling. From the tragic demise of beloved characters like Otis and Chief Hawkins to the harrowing near-death experiences of others, the show has masterfully balanced action-packed sequences with profound emotional depth. However, the recent death of Junior in season 13, episode 9, has left many fans feeling underwhelmed and disappointed. This sentiment arises not merely from the loss of a character, but from the manner in which his death was portrayed, a departure from the show's hallmark of impactful storytelling. The build-up, a promising arc. Junior's introduction into the Chicago Fire universe brought with it a whirlwind of potential. Portrayed by Richard Cabral, Junior was the cousin of gang leader Flacco, whose death during a fire incident was a direct result of Joe Cruz's, Joe Minoso, decision to let him perish. This morally complex choice set the stage for a riveting narrative, intertwining Cruz's internal struggles with the external threat posed by Junior's quest for vengeance. The tension was palpable, and viewers anticipated a storyline that would challenge the characters' ethics, loyalty, and the very essence of their duty as firefighters. The execution, falling short. However, as the episodes unfolded, the anticipated depth of Junior's storyline failed to materialize. Instead of a nuanced exploration of Cruz's guilt and Junior's thirst for revenge, the narrative veered towards predictability. Junior's actions became increasingly erratic, lacking the strategic cunning that one might expect from a character in his position. This shift not only diminished the gravity of the threat he posed, but also reduced the potential for meaningful character development. The climax, an anticlimactic end. The culmination of this arc in episode 9 was, for many, the epitome of anticlimax. Junior's death, rather than serving as a poignant turning point, felt more like a convenient plot device to tie up loose ends. The confrontation lacked the emotional intensity that has characterized previous pivotal moments in the series. There was no profound reckoning for Cruz, no deep exploration of the moral ambiguities that had been set up. Instead, Junior's demise was swift, lacking the resonance that could have elevated the episode from merely procedural to profoundly impactful. The aftermath. Missed opportunities. In the wake of Junior's death, the narrative possibilities seemed rich. How would Cruz grapple with the consequences of his decisions? Would there be repercussions from Junior's associates? Could this event catalyze a deeper exploration of gang dynamics in Chicago and the firefighters' role within this complex ecosystem? Regrettably, the show glossed over these avenues, opting instead for a return to the status quo. This choice not only undermined the significance of Junior's character, but also deprived the audience of a storyline that could have added layers of complexity to the series. Comparative analysis. A stark contrast. To understand the depth of this letdown, it's instructive to compare Junior's death to other significant losses in Chicago Fire. Take, for instance, the death of Otis in Season 8. His passing was not only a shock, but also a deeply emotional event that had lasting repercussions on the entire firehouse. The series dedicated time to explore the grieving process, the impact on camaraderie, and the void left by his absence. Similarly, Chief Hawkins' tragic end was handled with a sensitivity that honored the character's journey and provided a catalyst for further character development among the remaining cast. In stark contrast, Junior's death lacked this depth. There was a fleeting acknowledgement of his passing, but it failed to evoke the same emotional response or narrative significance. This disparity highlights a missed opportunity to maintain the show's tradition of meaningful storytelling. Fan reactions. A mirror to discontent. The audience's reaction to Junior's death has been telling. Social media platforms buzzed with discussions, not of sorrow or shock, but of disappointment. Fans expressed feelings of being shortchanged, pointing out the lack of emotional weight and the rushed nature of the storyline's conclusion. This collective sentiment underscores the importance of thoughtful character arcs and the high expectations that Chicago Fire has set over its many seasons. Conclusion. A call for a return to form. Chicago Fire has, over the years, built a reputation for its compelling characters and emotionally charged narratives. While not every storyline can hit the mark, Junior's death serves as a reminder of the delicate balance required in storytelling. It's a call to the writers and creators to return to the show's roots, where every character's journey is given the depth and respect it deserves, ensuring that each plot development resonates with the audience and contributes meaningfully to the rich tapestry of the series. In moving forward, one can hope that Chicago Fire will learn from this misstep, reigniting the passion and engagement that has made it a staple in television drama. By honoring the complexity of its characters and the intricacies of their stories, the show can continue to captivate and move its audience, episode after episode.